morning. We are expected to have about 10 today, but let's start now. It's 9:10, right? I think got an introduction to the program, I suppose. Have you all been briefed regarding the program? How many people got involved in the inauguration, so-called inauguration? No. Okay. I'll just give you a brief. Shamini will take you through the whole program, right? Basically, this program is organized like a. It's called a belt system, right? Once you do this module for strategic management, right? There are, I think for you all about 12 modules, isn't it? You can pick anything as you go on. But there's a program is going on. So according to your time availability, you can pick those modules and do. Or go along the streamline, along the lines what Shamini says. Okay? She's a coordinator. Okay. Now strategic management, I'll introduce it to you today. I'll just go through the other modules as well, what whole idea of what we are going to do. The whole program is based on strategic management, right? Whole idea is we will formulate a business concept individually. So you should have, so I'll brief you today how to develop this idea, right? And each module, unlike the other typical MBAs, each module, what we are going to do is to build the organization. So we'll organize a business plan. I'll give you an introduction to how to organize a very basic, simple business plan. So each module, let's say human resource coming, you organize, go through the theories of course, but your assignment would be putting up your HR structure to your organization. Then you go to operational management, the same thing. How you manage the operations. Then quality is that. That's how it works. So there's a sense in the whole program. Are you with me? Shall we introduce each other? You know who I am? Okay, most of you are. Alright, now consultant medical administrator. Stay in the government for 15 years. Now almost 12 years. More than 12 years in the private sector. Okay, and you?
I'm Hasif Fernando. I'm a pre-intern from Sidon, graduate.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah.
I am Sachini. I work as the project executive at IHS and I'm also from Sidon. I'm Shani. I'm a senior medical officer from Nurses Hospital.
I'm Suti. I'm from Nagaland Hospital. I'm working as a nursing officer. I studied at the University of Kerala.
Alright.
Kumar from Telangana Base Hospital, Medical Officer.
Alright.
Studied in Jajibari University, China. Was doing my ERP research.
Alright. So now you are.
Yes.
Hi. Good morning to you. So we are introducing each other for the benefit of the others. You could introduce yourself. You could introduce yourself.
Okay.
You can be friends later.
I'm Dr. Bani Tiratu. I'm from Madagascar.
Right.
I'm Dr. Isaac Isanayak. I'm from Kerala.
Alright. Okay. I just briefed them on the program. Now there's a thing called inauguration. I don't know how many of you are got involved in that. Nobody.
I see.
You too. So anyhow, you'll have a brief on that. Nothing big happening there. It's kind of I give you an introduction to the program. Where we do this module, what I'm doing today is the base for the whole program. So we build the concept and a business idea, simple business plan today. I'll explain you how to do it. Very simple approach. And then each module you are building your own organization. Right? It's not really theory. You should know theory, but at this age, I should say age, at this level, right? At this level you can't study. Obviously, come on. You're not going to sit in one place and study. It's not going to be. You develop ideas, concepts in a small diagram. A book of about 50 pages should be on a one single page. That's your maturity. Otherwise you can't study. You're not going to do it. I bet on that. You won't get 100% out of the program. Now the program is we will have every other week, we'll have a session like this. You can thrash out your ideas and don't think this is called a lecture. Right? This is not a lecture. We can't give lectures, those are traditional way of doing things. This is a discussion. Right? And guiding you to the program. There's a superb LMS, learner management system. Those who have not been trained, please get the hands on. Right? So he will give you a brief today, probably will give you a common password today if you haven't got the password. Right? You can use it. Right? You have to read at least 10 hours a week. Read, not study. Can you do that for 2 hours or 5 hours? Can you do that? If you can do that, you get 100% out of this. Just relax, go home, just read it through, just listen to videos, just skim through. So each module has a study guide. I'll show you. There are questions in this study guide. Now we have objectives for each module. Each objective has been converted to a few questions. We could call it as an activities. So you start finding answer to this. Automatically, you build your knowledge. So there are enough videos, there are enough PowerPoint presentation, there's enough Word documents. So you'll have to read. Right? Just skim through. Right? Okay. So I'll just show you a few other what I'm going to do today. Can I ask some questions from you? Hi, come. And can I ask some questions from you? Are you okay to ask questions and answer? That means no, no? Nobody said yes. Yes, okay. What do you know about this, about Sri Lanka? How many square kilometers we have? 62,000, any more beds? 55,000. Any more beds? Any more beds? Population? 20 million, 22 million, 21 million. So the right varies. Literacy rate? 92? 92? 98?
92 in males and 89 in females.
89. Life expectancy and good? Is it? Quite good. I'm impressed. So there are few indicators we should know. So I always talk about this. Forget about your qualification, forget about the experience that you gain out of this program. One day you will be traveling. So you are in this airport. And this Sudha fellow will come closer to you. Now, so introduce you to you. I'm a teacher, and who are you? And he said, I'm health administrator. Okay, fine. Now tell me about your country. Can you have a 5 minutes nice productive conversation? With confidence, without lying. We should, that's the industry. You have to have a basic industry knowledge. What is happening, how many beds we have, private sector, government sector, health industry, what's happening, what is the GDP per capita, what is the GDP per capita for health? Yeah? Yeah? 3.3 is the GDP expenditure as a percentage. Right. for how much we spend for a patient. Can you repeat that?
It's then
Sorry?
around $100.
It's about $1,000. It's about $1,000. 30,000 something per year. So about $1,000. That comes to something around $1,000 per year. So those are the things we should know. So this 5 minutes discussion, I should remember all this. So it's not only the academic part that we are going to do, but it's a whole icing. Without the icing, there's no you. You are just one of those. One of those are enough. There's enough in India, enough in Pakistan, enough in Bangladesh. They talk more than you. Right? They always talk. And then there's on the other east, China, very smart, can't sleep. So you'll be in between, you can do better. Okay? With that, let's go through this module, what I'm supposed to do. It's called Strategic Management in Healthcare. So what you will have, basically there are about roughly around 10 topics. You would have, the first topic would be Introduction to Management. Right? Oh, you can't see properly. Last is right. It's not clear. The screen is not clear. So I'll read it for you. Yeah. No, there's some.
Those who like the link of slide.
Also, it's not the. So we have evolution of management. This is basic management, right? And we have management process, how the management process would work on, and there's a thing called systems management. Yes. Yeah, it's better, but switch off the lights also, as they say. Probably this. There's something wrong, I think, definitely.
Yes, so the projector lens has like faded.
All right.
Should be
So,
direct.
okay, you're expecting somebody to reply. Suddenly the lightning would come and it will do. Right. Then the way it is to do it. Right. Then management by objective, right? And then emotional intelligence. These are very good topics. If you need somebody to teach you, can. But these are very simple things. I'm almost all have his background too. I'll go through inside. If you go inside to this, each one has enough PowerPoint presentation and reading materials. Right? Management process also the same. Few videos. Right? Likewise, this is in. If you go to LMS, it's in a different format. Easy to like question and answer format. So you go through each and individual ones. You'll have to do this total module by yourself. If you have a problem, let us know. We'll do a session. Okay. The second one, introduction to hospitals and the health industry. Right? If you go to that, there are enough stuff to learn. It will give you an idea of what is health and what the health industries and what are hospitals, right? And what is the hospital administrator would do, all that, right? Then next one is mainly an administration, regarding administration. It's now you're getting into a hospital or a health administrator, you should know what's the typical roles of a health administrator and what is his role and then what is happening around him. So I would request you. I know some are actually currently working as an administrator. On and off, walking into the administrator's office would be really helpful. Just listening to him. Just be on a side. No talking. Just listen to him what he does. I was like that for about almost 8 months, without a chair or a table or anything, just like a visitor. When I was appointed to Ragama as a deputy director after my MSc. So with MSc, I thought I'll be doing like a big fellow. And he said, come. He's a Dr. Rajamanthi, wonderful person. Come, he called me Anjali. Why don't you sit? So I sat. The whole day it was like that. I was just waited. Next day also I came. So he said, come at 7. So generally I come at 7. He comes at 7. He read the paper for about half an hour. All the papers he goes through. From 7:30 to 8, he give a superb battery. Just about something, maybe about a chair, maybe about general, something happening around. So I used to contribute to him. And I felt a bit bad because most of the things, the questions that I asked you, even after my MSc, I did not know. Most of the simple things. But how many mosquitoes there in the world? Mosquitoes, I don't know. You should know. So most of our diseases are due to mosquitoes. I mean, if you can't answer this question. And I went on, and then 6 months. After about 2 weeks, I felt really bad, but I want to do something because I was just seated there like the others. People come and go. There's a lot of things happening. So I was just getting some extremely important scenarios happening around me. How do you manage it? And then I never thought what I learned is related to this. I was just happening at hospital. Then I saw 2 ladies, clerks, typing things on the side. If you go to Ragama director's office, there's a small partition and they type. From a distance I can see whatever they type, red and green. Those days you had the red and green in Word. And they print also these documents. I was just thinking there's something really wrong. So I got a small chair in between, I sat in between them, and to see they are typing letters to WHO, huge thing. Then it comes to director, he corrects everything, again goes back. The same letter over and over again. First thing I did was making letter formats. After about a month, then he asked me to come near his table. So he gave me a table on his table. So I was just there taking notes, take some notes. I was like a glorified clerk. And my friends used to come to visit me. I got a deputy director post. Machan, where's your room? I'm the director. Oh my God, you're in the director's room. Suddenly they walk in and say, you're a bloody Clapton. What are you doing? I said, what to do? I have to do. I have to ask, he's my boss. I have to manage him. So I think after about then massive problems. So after about a month, 2 months, that was the second month, he said, now Ediri, go and study what you studied, put it into formats. So I was making protocols, I'm making circulars. Enormous amount of problems. You see what has happened and you build on and you develop your own and you download stuff. It was very difficult in 2002 to download stuff, but still we did. Enormous of things you can learn. I would strongly advise you just to hang around. Just don't try to be a smart fellow, just go there and sit and listen to people. That's very important. So then you can relate what's happening to day-to-day life of an administrator or probably be the boss of your boss. So then you have the strategic management part, right? For you to go through, this is a study guide. It's in a different format you would have in okay. So these are the objectives you can go through, right? So there are a few activities. This is in a question and answer format in your Moodle. Now there are general activities. One is describe the key milestones, evolution of management. Key milestones. We should know a few things. We should have either a mind map or a model. You know mind map, no? Evolution of management. Right? Don't study. Just have a concept in your idea. That's more than enough at the end of it. So you can build it up. At this level, you need not to buy hard anything. Just have concept, then you can build it up. Likewise, each one try to answer. There are enough material, and you can find your own material as well. Once you get the ACI University access, you will have the access to almost top-end universities in the world. Enormous amount of reading material there. You can pick and choose. Just the keywords of evolution or management, you get top-end articles rather than what we have. Right? So this is how you go. So daily go through this. This is self-study. Right? Then there's a leading activity. Now, each topic, at the end of the day, there's a lead activity. Leading activity is one summation of all what we have learned. It's more of a looking at your critical thinking capacity and analytical capacity. So, you are not supposed to get scared and get frozen. If you don't do anything, nothing will happen. So do something. Write something. What you learn. It goes on like that. There are general activities, there are lead activities. Hospital administration similar. Try to answer these questions, right? So this strategic management I will do today, right? And so all this I'll touch on it. These are fairly new. You need some support. That's what I am doing, right? Then there's an assignment, something similar to this, right? So assignment is given upfront. Don't worry about it, right? So you are building your assignment through all the modules. Assignment is not a surprise, right? Assignment is your activities together build on the assignment. So that's the whole. That's how it goes, right? So this is your assignment is slightly different, okay? Oh dear, okay. Now I'll go for my program proper, strategic management. Now in this is a very heavy module. I'm going through this PowerPoint presentation. This is a lead PowerPoint presentation, and there are enormous number of videos that you have. So you have to go through one by one. So I will, most of it I've related in my PowerPoint presentation, right? So you have to go home and please do that. And there are enough handouts, right? There are some more PowerPoint presentations, simple ones. Okay, let's start now. Yeah, almost half an hour. Any questions up to now? I say this should be a discussion. Okay. Huh? Breathing. Right. Disclaimer. I was advised by my lawyer to have this simply because the concepts, ideas, viewpoints, names, and scenarios discussed here are for purely for study purposes. I have nothing to do with this person, just to create an emotion in you. The modern method of learning is that if I create anyone can create an emotion, it remains in your head. The presenter has no intention of discrediting, disrupting a person or an organization. Simply, this is going to be an academic exercise. If you go on to read Observe today, I hope it's there. Is it?
I couldn't check.
Yeah, anyway. I wrote an article, hopefully it's there. Being smart person. Right. Alright. I'll ask questions now. What is planning? So getting activities to meet something, make it successful. Anything else? That end? Should I say something? Preparing? Preparation it's about the future, no? Preparing, it's about the future. What else? What else? Talk.
The activities you would do to reach a goal.
Yeah, that's it. There is a goal. He said, anything else? What did you do planning? What did you do today in the morning? What did you do in the morning? As you get up, prepare to come to the lecture. Basically, planning is coming from here to there, A to B, right? Preparation, forecast. There are two types of planning. Actually, there are many types of planning. Broadly, there are two main types of planning: strategic planning and operational planning, right? So, operational planning is a shorter, annual. You must have seen people doing annual budgets, annual forecast, annual HR, annual thing, operational. That's annual. Operational, right? It's a narrow and limited scope. In terms of the scope, it's limited but very specific. Finer details. It's a subset of strategic plan. Now, strategic plan is about planning for about 5 years, typically 3 to 5 years, right? And then long term, wider scope, very broader, and many organizing activities are under this umbrella, right? And then, of course, the broader details. Are we okay with this? Okay, right. There are many definitions. I don't know theory. I know practically how to apply them. That's what I want to provoke you all. The theory is always there are enough books to read. Okay, you know about Alexander. How many people would watch Alexander the Great? There's a movie. How many people watch movies here? Movies, TV series. Yeah? You can learn a lot. My God, whatever, I'm just waiting to see the Game of Thrones. Tomorrow's one, and then House of Cards, everything, Downton Abbey. You can learn a lot from it. I mean, of course, you have relaxation and you can pick a lot of things. House of Cards. If you can listen to the words that these guys are talking, the dialogue, amazing. Okay, Alexander. So Alexander did strategy actually started in from Alexander's time. A 22-year-old man of an army of 200,000, they say 400,000, conquered the massive Persian army, which consisted over 1 million. So basically, he had 1/4 of the army, and he went and smashed the guy. Right, that was the whole story. So, so basically, Macedonia is here, Persia was there. So it's in 3301 BC. The whole conflict was Alexander the Great was Darius III of Persia. Right? There are enough videos. I managed to get a Discovery. They have a superb videos, series of videos I downloaded. It's all linked. Just go through and listen. It's nice how he started and he went on. The thing we are going to look into this particular incident or the conflict versus what is happening, what we want to learn are these other topics. So this guy had a dream and a pathway. So before he went into, he looked at how to assess the opponent and how to validate himself, right? And then he looked at what is the external environment, the battleground, and then he had to change the mindset of the fighters. And then there are a few things happened evening before the battle and the battle. Okay, I just give a very scene because I won't spend much time here. Just this guy was a teeny weeny guy. Father died, then he has to, by default, he has to become the king, right? And he started an idea, becoming one of the most important person in the world, because father was a very glorified king. He was a podian, hanging around and all that. But he wanted to show himself suddenly. When he came to forum, people did not even look at him. He said, still a podian, But he himself had an idea. Hey, I'm going to do something great. And then not only that, he said, I want to become the emperor in the whole world. That was his dream. Then he looked at the whole background is Persia the Darius, he conquered initially he had an excellent army, he went to conquer Russia all around the world, and he gathered all the machines, and he had the largest army, consists of many fighters. So nobody even challenged them. So with this background, Alexander wanted to challenge him. Alexander did small, he conquered small countries, and he had a very good fighters. And then he looked at the strengths of the opponent. Opponent had the largest army, had many fighters. There's a maximum variety of machines, machineries, whatnot, equipments, and they never lost a battle. They walk in and challenge, people will lay down their arms and surrender. And then it's a large force, but because of their surrender, they lack experience. If you look at the weaknesses, they are from different countries. This one doesn't know what the other fellow speaks. So language barriers were there. Training was different. Commanding was different. How you command a Russian and Iranian would be totally different. And then flexibility, the movement, since it's a large army like Sri Lankan army those days, couldn't move. It was and then he always undermined the opposition. They always undermined the opposition. They are going to win always. And then traditional army with the old equipment. They never wanted new equipment because there's no fight, there's no battle. And then the guys they don't have morale to do anything. They were happily eating and staying in the, their camps. So this varies. I just put it about 1 million people they had. Then this is Alexander. He looked at him. He has a very strong few fighters, very loyal to him. Very minimum variety. They also never lost a battle. And battle hardened, lot of experience. They go and they have to fight it out to get it, because they have to really work hard to get this. They are very flexible, small army like LTT, but did Then Sri Lankan army also did the same thing. They created small groups and then infiltrated that way. And it's a modern army, so they have to upgrade themselves. So they have to give good equipment and high morale. One man show, one direction, and this guy can, really provoke people, the other people. The weakness is a small army. They say around 400,000, right? This varies anyway. So assessment of the battlefield. The battlefield, what they fight, generally you go and challenge them, they would come to a place to fight. So this battleground, Darius, his palace and everything is there. Generally you fight in an open ground. But here, there were some mountains here. So Alexander has to come from here. No? Simply, it's slightly different to this. It is ideal for a small army. They can maneuver, because a large army, if you get stuck, you get stuck. Because it's not a massive place. And then, but only thing is, if it's cornered, you get smashed by these guys, large army. So this guy actually challenged, and the Darius laughed at him, challenge, and Then even before the battle, he had a very simple message to his opponents. It's not to fight. Everyone was told, even to camp, kill the king. That's the message. Just kill the king, right? And always he's with the people. He walked with the people. Also, Darius was dancing, and there were nice dancers around him. He's drinking wine and blah blah blah. These days are far away, maybe doing something else in the camps. There's a battle. Now, typically, the formation is they fight in you come in the rectangular format. These guys also come in rectangular format and they fight. You must have seen in all these movies, they come and smash each other. That's how they do. So the larger the army, you smash the others. They started like that. He went on, there's a lot of tactics they use, but I'm going to talk about it. Suddenly, they moved the two wings on either side. And they walked towards this. Rather than moving like this, they moved towards the side and started moving away. All what they wanted to do, to create some havoc here. So these guys also started moving on the sides. Because they had to fight these guys rather than going in. So they also moved in. Finally, all what he wanted to create a small gap in between. Then they went and killed the king. So there are a lot of things they use, tactics, many tactics. If you see these videos, you would see. So actually he won the battle, basically. That's what it is. So now, go through the videos, it's really nice, the weapons that they use, that was suited for this, etc., armory, and so many things that we can learn from this. Yeah, you have to Mono anyway, hopefully with this. So, it's in amount, I don't know what's going to happen. But anyway, we'll see. So what is strategy? Right? Strategy is and these are the things we have to look at. A strategic plan is a comprehensive plan to accomplish goals and objectives of an organization. That's what you said, like even a basic operational plan was the same thing. But there are a few words that you have to know. To do a strategic plan, you have strategic thinking. Strategic thinking is a creative thinking. It should be really, really cute, very creative, and very critical. You address only the critical stuff. You have many things to address only. And then crucial. And always forward thinking, futuristic, and outward thinking. Not that I want to do, that's we want to do. And then, of course, the collective, as I told you. And let's look at strategic management as a definition. You can build this definition. There are enough definitions around. It's a comprehensive management process. It's a continuous process. It's not a one set of plans. Right? And then it's performed by considering the external dynamic external environment. If you look at the environment, it's so dynamic. It moves every time. Right? So you make a plan, and by the time you try to implement the plan, it has changed. The consumer has changed. Competitors, suddenly you see a hospital right in front of you. You are in software companies, no? You build a nice, beautiful software, and to see left and right, then a Microsoft comes with a massive software, you know. So it's dynamic. You consider all that. And then the internal environment. In your organization, and industry competition, look at industry competition, and then organize a comprehensive plan to achieve the organization goals and objectives, right? And to be successful in the competition, right? And this is a process. First, we formulate the strategies, then we implement the strategies, right? Then we evaluate the strategies, and then finally a strategic change. Because each one is very, very important. This is a process of strategic management. We will go through one by one. Very simple approach. But you can read a lot, enough materials there. A lot of case studies on HBR, the Harvard Business Review. Please read those case studies. You can learn a lot. So first, if you look at the strategy formulation, we have to make a direction, right? Which direction are you moving forward? Direction. Vision, mission, and values. Vision, mission. We have a concept, then you give it a vision, mission, and values. Then you formulate the objectives and goals, and external environment assessment. Right? Then development of strategies.
So Shamini is saying there's actually a text in the past to loving the
Right. Can I have some water?
issues.
So strategic management, change management,
Yeah, it's a strategic change management is a subset of strategic management. I will come there. There's a so strategy implementation. Then you implement these strategies. To implement your plan, Now you put up a plan. Now Sri Lankans are extremely good planners. We have every unit has a planning division. If this plan worked out, we will be well above the first world. Unfortunately, implementation there are issues. It doesn't happen the way we want. Then to control this plan, you have to have a demarcation area, demarcate areas. So those are called policies. You put policies in order to work this plan within those. And then we organize a design. We set up key people in important areas to make sure this plan works. It's called organization design. And then now giving an injection you can give anywhere, no? You can give using the hand, you can give the, I don't know how you do it. You can give it a smile, you can give it a sarcastic face, or you can, anything you can do, no? So that's quality. I mean, if you are doing something, do it in an acceptable way. So manage that. And then what you do is you allocate resources. So you put people in places, and then you demarcate, this is what I want. Quality standards. Put standards. How to talk, how to do things. You fix those things. And then you allocate resources. Give others. Give everything. Computers, this, that, whatever. We will talk about finance. That's not enough. Because even in the United States, things go haywire. Yesterday they arrested a nurse. I don't know, you must have seen the. Yeah, it's a policeman. It's total live on because he has not given the sample of blood taken from a patient to the police. So she was arrested in front. So I mean, the things will go haywire without. Then you have to have a checks. Checks are called audits. You have to have checks, continuous checks. Check what they are doing. And finally, all this is useless if you don't have proper organization culture. Everything goes under carpet. Now you get JCI accreditation, you get this, you have the top end facilities, extremely qualified people, excellent skills, excellent. But the culture is not good. You are going to have a very expensive healthcare center doing very shoddy work. That's where the change management comes. That's where the change. Our organization culture is we will be having a session on this, and there are a few articles also we have put it under human resource, how to create a proper organization culture and how to organize the behavior towards what you want to do. This is a whole gamut of things. Are you with me now? Right? Okay? Have I spoken enough now? Shall I shut up and will you talk now? Okay? Alright, so go on seeing videos one by one as we go on. So we'll take this area. Now this typically strategic management had to be taught over at least 6 months. Why learn over 6 months? And finally I saw this book. I got a photocopy from PIN. It's from my director. And I had these photocopies lying everywhere. Beautiful book. And then finally, when I actually could afford it, I bought it. It was at that time $22,000. That was half of my salary in those days. So I bought it. That's the most expensive book. I mean, it's in my office. I mean, anyone wants to share with you, I can give you the name and just drop an email to me if you can. And it has strategic management in healthcare. It gives you a comprehensive with the case studies. And fully, I mean, if you're going through the ladder, if you're thinking of going right up there, if you want to be there, seriously advise to buy that book. Sell your mobile and buy it, still it's good. Yeah. I must have read about Rice. Still I wanted to read more, hopefully. Amazing book. So this is So let's look at formulation of strategies. You can stop me at any time and you can talk. Right? It's kind of a journey if you look at it. Now, first you get the idea. Suddenly it clicks on, hey, I want to do this. Or my mother was not treated in the hospital. I'm going to have a palliative care center because she was dying and they didn't give morphine. Something would click on. Or some rich guy would ask and come, is there a, I would like to, do this. And then you all must have provoked something for you to do your software, no? Something must have clicked. Right? It doesn't happen. No? The concept is very important. Then you develop your vision. It's called the roadmap. Right? And then the mission. What vehicle are you going to get into? Go in this journey. Right? And then the fuel. Right? When you drive, you can drive anyway. Left side, right side, three-wheel drivers, like anyway. The fuel are the values that you make sure this journey is going to be within that certain amount of value. Then you have milestones as you go on. We have to stop, we have to eat and drink, and then etc. etc. And then whilst you are going, you do the environmental assessment. Watch what's going to happen, and then you create a tactics to have this journey a successful one. A typical example is that going to a funeral. Now, yesterday also I went to a funeral. So just got into a white shirt and a trouser and you go. So let's say you are going to a funeral in Gaul. You do the same thing. You are working and suddenly let's go to the funeral, get into a bus, maybe you just go off. Imagine you are going on a trip to Gaul. What will you do? You plan trip. What clothes to wear? Whom are you going with? Where to stop? Which bus? And whilst going, are you going to sing Surangani, or are you not going to sing? Or what are you going to do? And are you going to have alcohol there? If you are drinking alcohol, are you going to give these kids on young teens to the one of the milestones would be stop at Veruala and then go? Will you allow them to, it's going to rain? All that. So that's actually, we are doing strategic management day-to-day lives. So we do that every day. I mean, our part of the work, in the life cycle, we do that. And then we have tactics, right? Maybe hide the husband's red bottle and dilute it with some water, and then so he can drive without, something, you do a lot of things, and then try to avoid that road where you have to swim. These guys really like to jump into the water, so take another route and go, This is strategic management, basically. So this is what we do in big companies. There are consultants who support you to do this, and without our knowledge, we are doing this every day. So this is the same thing. The concept, the idea that clicked you to have a look at the industry. There should be some spelling mistakes here. At the industry. Let's look at this industry. The idea. Then it derived from the phenomena. The phenomena is what's happening around you. What is happening around you? A lot of things happening around. It's a dynamic world. And suddenly everything changes around you. The people change, the environment will change, everything, weather, pattern, microbes, trees, everything changes. Every microsecond the bacteria changes. Then the expensive drug you brought is not going to work. So in this phenomena, something clicked to you. Hey, I want to do something on this. Why is this happening? That's the concept. That's the idea. And then better talk to a guy. Hey, what do you think about this? Who has industry knowledge? Rather than going ahead and doing everything, at the end you would see, as I told you, you build up your software and suddenly Go on to see, boom, big bang, the Microsoft has come with us exactly the same thing, and then with the wide options. So nice to have a chat. Read case studies. Ideal would be best case studies. You get HBR, Harvard Business Review, HBR. Right. I think you have the access once you get the. As there are old ones they put out, you need not to pay. If you are paying, it's about $200, $3, that kind of thing, even. So in your area, you can read. Just put the keywords in Google. That's it, Google. I've built up a hospitals. I'm still doing something every day. I get some people come and throw ideas at me. So I have this idea, you know. So best is to, what I do is, my expertise is Google. You put keywords in Google and see, hey, what's happening around. Then you can get an idea of all that. So YouTube is a classic thing for you to learn. You should really use YouTube. YouTube has enormous, and it's very easy. You get one thing is linguistically it comes, words going on, and then it hits you, and there's music, there's picture, so it stays in your head more than the others. This is a demarcation of boundaries in your business. Very important to have this concept written down tightly. Why? Read, ask, read again. Even read again before you even go further. You will never ever cross the boundaries. Therefore, very important before you move any further, this concept had to be maybe 5 points. I'm going to have a hospital, multi-specialty hospital. I'm going to open it for 24 hours. This is IT fixed hospital, and I'm going to do acceptable quality of care. And then acceptable, affordable quality of care. Very basic, broad concepts. And I'm going to cater for only Sri Lankans. Or I'm going to look at the medical tourism. Only that, about 10 points. So you're not going to change. Halfway you're going to, no, I have to do a maternity hospital. It doesn't happen that way. When you have gone beyond that. So very important to get the idea. Then why? This idea is going to go through a big screening process now. That's what the strategy formulation does. It's from here on it's costly. Now most of the time I do it free for everyone, but generally I can charge about $6 million basically for a strategic management, to do this. So you can charge once you know this, because from there on you do a lot of work. So therefore, before that, make your concept very strong. A lot of work has to be done afterwards. Then making a plan. Now the Quran says, if you don't know where you are going, any road will take you there. So that happens to many of our projects. If you look back in Sri Lanka, this is a classic way to, because we don't know where we're going. We don't have a proper concept. So we started with this great idea only, it's not a concept. And you start building on. I don't know what that Maui and all that I haven't really looked at. I get some water there, to Ambanduta, and then we'll drill it and do. This is what I think. There must be a lot of work was said. And suddenly now the tunnel is leaking from where? It's from the wells of the people. That's what the summary of this. So anyway, now let's look at the vision now. Vision is a strategic vision concerns the future path of the organization. It's always a very simple answer, question. Where we are going? Now vision is somebody asks you, where are you going? So I'm going there. I'm going to be the best hospital. I'm going to be the best healthcare center. I'm going to be the best professional if I'm going to strategic plan for you. I'm going to be the smartest man in Sri Lanka. That's simple answer. If you can answer this, it's always future. Now after this session, you will definitely look at all the visions. Is it futuristic or is it yesterday? You know, some are talking about we were there from 1942 and all that is very wrong. I mean, that's your history. Vision is always futuristic. Got few videos as you go on. Go through this. I'm just giving you an idea only. Just go and read this. Then they're fairly good videos. Now, features of a vision is about we look at more than 5 years. 5 years is too short now. We have to way beyond now. For example, if you look at a hospital today, how can you predict what's going to happen to this hospital in 10 years? In 10 years, what's going to happen? What's going to happen in 10 years? What do you think it will happen? Now, new things are happening. New things are happening. There are few body parts are made in petri dishes. Both. So what is going to happen? Machines are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Software is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The people can predict your health. You need not to be scared. I mean, you need not to go to temple every day and pray, please don't give me any diseases. You please do that for spirituality, but you need not to do that because you can have the genetic profile, do the biomarkers, you can predict your diseases, and then you have personalized medicine. Are you ready for that? It's going to come to Sri Lanka in no time. Well, we have the latest mobiles, latest cars. Technology comes here. Suddha guys would evolve with over decades. Here it comes in months. So are you ready for that? So it's all, the vision has to be more futuristic.
So this is his focus.
Huh?
This is his
I do not go and tell them. And please tell them. Drop an email. So inspiring. It should be clear and futuristic. It should be inspiring. Inspire all your staff members. Inspire your project staff. Right? In common direction. Steer energies. And it should be challenging, like about existence. It should be challenging. Otherwise, the vision should have a nice kick and nail biting. Oh my God, we are going to do this. That kind of thing. Otherwise, it will be just a statement. Just a statement. That expose the management aspirations. Your idea, if you are the manager, you are the one who started this, it should expose this. So when you see a vision, all these characteristics, you can't have everything, but you should look at, can put these things there. And should empower own people first and then the clients. First your own people, your staff, and then the clients, not outsiders. If you say, we are going to give you the best service in Sri Lanka, without motivating your people to give their best service, it's going to be a problem. Prepare for the future by honoring the past. Fine, honoring the past. Where you should know where you come from. That it makes sense to the relevant community. I mean, you can have a classic vision and people will not understand. You go to one of these places, your lobby, you would see massive vision statements like ancient, stuff, but it doesn't make any sense for people. That's giving you a distinct identification for your organization. Distinctive identification. That vision is for you. Who are you? Where are you going? We are going there. And anybody else? No, we are the only. We are the only people who are going there. Right. So these are few questions that you can, when you develop one, you can gather people around you and ask some questions. What are the areas of focus? Are we really focused on this area? And then maybe teaching languages, let's say. Future, what is the future of this? Right? Initially we are going to teach languages for Sri Lanka, then we are going to go for the global market. What are the future aspirations of the stakeholders? What do they want? Do they just want money? It's the ROI they are looking at. The return on investment they are looking at. Future market. Now clients. What do our clients request from us? Right? And then whether it's what is the future environment? Who will be our competitors and partners? Just look at it. Don't go through the depth of it, but just know and what is going to be our scope. So vision envisages all this. And what is the technological impact in future? So what are the things, 3 areas to focus: aspiration of people inside and outside, the method to do, right? What are the methods they are going to use, and long term. Right? So few examples, like here, this is the white. Their vision is this: the drug company. Our vision is to lead the way to a healthier world. Right? It might have certain elements that we spoke about. Nike, to bring innovation and inspiration to every athlete in the world. They are making shoes. Their whole, and I can still remember there one day, about 5 years ago, I saw in Malaysia a shoe, Nike shoe. It says it is actually a rocket science. That's all that it is. It's actually a rocket science. To see that one of the materials that they use is used by the astronauts. So they have invented that fabric. So it gives that, you know. And this is what we had 5 years ago when we started to bring innovation and training, innovation to the training of healthcare professionals. When we started, that was about 2008. We had a 15-year-old history, but 2008 we rebranded. From there we used about 5 years. First 5 years, this is what we had. Red Cross. So I just give you a little bit on IIHS. It's not a massive, big organization, but it's a cute organization. But there are things that we can. This was the initial vision. It evolved into to be the heart of innovative development of healthcare professionals to the globe. Right. That was one time. It was a innovation. Right. Then became this. Then journey started like 15 years ago with you might see Dr. Amal Harsha, Dr. Kahandaliyanage, Dr. and this is Julia Pierce. They started the nursing school. Few American expats, the Sri Lankans working in America, thought we should give something back to the country, and rather than exporting housemaid, we'll export nurses. That's how they started. We started this in Kandy. So in 2008, came here. I joined them. Then I branded. It was called American College of Health Sciences, and then I rebranded. It's called International Institute of Health Sciences because I wanted to look at the other countries as well. This was the concept built on these things, because this is a traditional pick of the universities, and there's a massive amount. We saw it here. This is the come on, only how many 10% of the people who go to the universities. You have 90% to play with in 21 million population. Small population, but this is a. So we look at a concept called inclusivity. The concept that we had to have to make people international healthcare professionals. So all but the programs that we do as per the international standards, and we looked at you see when you have the problem with our education over the years, not with ours, world over. So you have a student coming into a program, at the end you have a job market. So in the program what you do is you align these people, convert them to the skills, knowledge, aptitudes and aptitudes and the value set, everything to make sure that they will attain a job. And then, but there are two things happening. Our programs are static. If you take your program in Peradeniya is fairly new, 5 years maybe. But if you look at the nursing curriculum, it's about almost 12 years old. This person changes, coming into he changes. That's called student profile, and the industry changes. The nurse should know not just giving an injection, software, communication, etc., etc., proper knowledge. So that has to change. And this guy has already become IT addict now. Games, play games. He is no more carry a book. So learner profile changes. So what we do is now we do not for you guys, but if you want to do, you can do a learning style. We do a learning style for each kid who come into our long-term program, and then there are different learning styles. People like to do linguistically. What we do, what I am doing is linguistically. You speak, you write, then exam is writing. That's from the Wernicke area, and then visual, videos, pictures. That's in occipital area. There are multiple. There's a theory called multiple intelligence theory. The brain has different areas to absorb learning. So each kid has different things to do. And this kid, they put into a classroom and start doing linguistically. 10 minutes, he's no more with you, he's far, far away. And for you, what we are talking, and if you look at Google and say, what are you talking about? It's all here. Why you waste time? So we do a lot of learning style assessment and put them into groups because they are loners. So they are always trying to go into the virtual environment. But we always try to give, this program has to be virtual, plus you give the group activities. So we do that, and amazingly they transform. We've seen that. So, and then we use intelligent delivery methods, and we really push them towards evidence-based, because this job market will give jobs. People talk sense. Why are you saying that? No, I was taught in my nursing school or medical school like this. Really? That was about 15 years ago, son. Now, so why? No, this was the later publication, from Harvard. This is what they are doing now. Evidence-based. So we teach research. Now you have a excellent dissertation. Please start it now. I worship you. Please start it now. Have the concept. You can go to the module. Don't wait till the module starts. You try to do the research module. Do a wonderful dissertation. Master's level dissertation is the one that will take you forward. You become a different. You change. You dramatically change your way of doing things will change. But if you do it properly, you can pass the exam. Exams are you give a small set of papers. But if you really want to upgrade yourself, please do this lesson properly. So we do evidence-based studies, and personality development. There are things that we have to upgrade these kids to an international level. Now, typically every other week, 2 or 3 our kids, you won't believe, they always go outside the country. If you are in IHS, tag on to IHS Facebook page. Now about 4 kids are in Singapore now. 3 days, what will I tell you? What will I tell you? Small kids, just on the 2nd year, presenting in international forums. And when they go there are no diploma holders. All are PhDs, masters, there is coming. So this year, over 70 odd people went out of the country. So basically, invariably, we are the number 1 in terms of research now in Sri Lanka. So personality development and tools. We give tools to sustain during studies. These are the concepts. How maybe English is not there, IT is not there. Maybe economics, there may be issues. There are a lot of issues. So these are the concepts we started, and there's a proper program fit, 2 ends, international and local. So that was our concept. So with this concept we started, we have the whole gamut of things now. So we found that it's very difficult to encounter this so-called authoritarian Sri Lankan education system. So we got around it. So created a small platform from International Learning Center. We have 20 partners in different parts of the world now. So we looked back, we actually transformed these things. For example, this girl is Ayodhya, she's in the faculty now. She's 22 years with a master's in physiotherapy. Her A-level results are pretty simple process. Now she got a commentary, she studied here, went to UK, and she has 4 international publications in all physiotherapy forums in the world. Good sellable product in the professional market, not in the marriage market. And she's a good looking girl. Right? So this one is 22 years working in Melbourne. We have a 3+1 pathway for DK. Now she handles the aged care center by herself in Monaco. 22 years. There are 50 guys working under them, also guys. So this is the transformation. We saw all this. This is a girl who couldn't utter a word of English, now has a PR in Australia. This girl is from Negombo, Ave Maria Convent, practicing physiotherapy in New York. This guy from Kahawatha, practicing in New York. Right? They never had a bicycle even when they came. So this is the theatre nurse from Karapitiya, works in Dr. Sans Frontiers. Right? Just you would have been still in the theatre if not for us. So there are a lot of things we did. Then we realized that this is a strategy we developed. So we changed our vision for the next 5 years. So we transform people, and then of course when we transform people, we found this kid would send money back, that small Gamekade would grow, and then of course the landscape, the future is ours. So what we thought was do innovative work and then change the lives of these people as well as the community and the landscape. This is our vision. So I'll give you a small activity now. So this is what you are going to do at home, but now you can put down certain points in the area you want to go and develop a very simple vision. Can you do that in 5 minutes? Just say anything. Could be making toy shop. We don't be helpful. Can start. Just come up with an idea. Maybe healthcare. Just write something. Don't try here for 3-4 minutes. You can go home and start doing it. continue with your, right? I can go through to the next, looking at the mission. So as I told you before, mission is the vehicle that you take into your destination. It's about the answering a question, how we get there. Mission is where are you going? Where are we going? And how to get there, right? And why we exist in this organization, right? What is the core purpose, the existence of the organization? You have to describe that. So, for example, you describe the current activities, right? And then that's the present tense, not future. Not what we are doing now. We are doing this. And then describe who we are, what we do, right? Why are we here? Try to answer these questions when you develop your mission statement, right? Current service offerings, and what are the organization needs, how it is being served, right? And what are the technological and the other inputs you have. Just describe people, right? Same thing, just go through this slowly, right? But the most important thing is it should be short and memorable, and it should be market focused, but health industry and which area. Talk to your people outside and inside, and regarding information regarding the organization. That's where you really describe what your organization is all about, and any processes, right, that you are going to do, how to get people in and out. This is a mission of Canadian Red Cross. Is to improve the lives of vulnerable people by mobilizing the power of humanity in Canada. Right. This is our one. It has slightly changed this time. We are a healthcare training organization born to bring innovation to the healthcare training at a green campus by infusing traditional values of healthcare professionalism while adhering to the international training standards. We improve quality of lives of healthcare professionals through developing personalities, partnering with international organizations, blah blah blah. Solutions to the global leader. This is who we are. We have to describe who we are. This is a new one. This is a new one. It has gone to Human Resource Development Organization. Same thing. Right? Yeah. So develop your mission as you go on. Then the set of values. Those are the fuel for your vehicle. Right? There are different videos I have put in, and just as you go on, go through that one by one. Right? So roughly values should be 4 to 8 values. 4 is the ideal. It ideally concerned with demarcate your area, and then now of course say why people should come to you. If you can answer, why should people come to you? Because of your values. DuPont is a clinical trials organization. These are their safety values: ethics, environment stewardship, respect for each other. So this is the kind of a clinical trials organization. Teaching Hospital Ragama, long years ago we developed. This is what we are. Accessibility, give accessibility for many people. We have done it. Even currently, many nurses are doing the bachelor's program from Middle East now. Geographical accessibility, and then once you come in, there should be accessible for you to all the programs. And inclusivity include everyone who have been locked out from the system, irrespective of their age, primary qualification, etc. And be very professional in the quality, comfort, and the support. Comfortable for all the students and support everyone. Right? So those are the how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what we have. There's another company of rehabilitation, convenience, comfort, and confidence. Once again, Fisival, Ragam Hospital, into 4. Then objectives and goals. Those are the milestones of the journey. Objectives are basically you have this nice pathway and the milestones where you stop, right? So vision, he made it a concrete, measurable performance. Now, okay, you achieve Tangor, and then you go to Matra, and then you go to Kataragama. So it's kind of you give objectives, measurable outcomes where you're going to achieve your vision. Milestones of the journey, 3 to 5 year journey, right? You look at profitability, market share, and operational efficiency. Right? Profitability is how much money you're going to make. Market share is how much a percentage of market you are going to achieve. Operational efficiency, how efficient you will, how much of resources you are going to achieve, etc., etc. So the output, everything. It's kind of objectives are broader. Example, to achieve ISO standards by this date, to win the Cricket World Cup. It's more broader. Goals are more narrow and more specific. It's maybe annual. It's more aligned with the operational planning, right? And it's short term, 1 to 3 years. So basically you quantify and qualify, and then give deadlines always. Right? Qualify, nice. They qualify, then quantify, and then talk about, put a time scale when you are going to achieve. Short term. So there's a thing called a SMART. When you write a goal, that goal should be specific to what you are doing, and it should be measurable in some format. It should be achievable, and should be realistic, and then time. So the SMART thing, put it on. Okay. Then we have to do the environmental assessment and the development strategies. If you need, I can give it 5 to 10 minutes break. Or if you want to continue, we can. Break? Okay. It's up to you. How is your software going on? Okay. We started, you presented. Came and had a look.
In charge person, the manager who
Yes,
was
yes.
we had a chat.
Then he told he will send us his number with the discussion with that guy, the marketing guy. I think he's not there. Sami,
He's the one who bought you on? No.
yeah,
Yeah, you can give you a number or something. Talk to him and not 768 432026.
it's the emergency.
Yeah, Asante. He's the one who's using the money. So then once you do the direction, let's look at the environmental assessment. So we are going to assess the external, internal and competitive environment. If you look at the environmental assessment, there are three areas you have to look at. First look at what's happening outside, and then look at what's happening inside, and then what is happening in the competition. Right? We'll take each one and just talk about it. As when you go through this, please go through the videos that will give you an insight to this. External environment, we call it as another word as pest analysis. That stands for political, economical, social and technological analysis. Right? On this we will add health sector. There are different variables. So for political, what do you mean by political? Political envisages not only politics, it is the administrative and the regulators. Now, any system has 4 players. Whatever the system, maybe education, maybe health. There are 4 major stakeholders. One is the regulator, then service provider, maybe a production or service, and somebody has to fund this, then the funder, and then the consumer. Who will lead this? Consumer. So any system there are 4 players, major players. Whatever there are 4 major players. So political guy is the regulator. Now this political guy may have, it's not only the parliament, but there are ministries which parliament has allocated their mandate to make sure things happen the way that they want. And in a typical country, not only regulator is strongly supported or opposed by the trade unions. Strongly supported or opposed by the international organizations, maybe others. So each one has, if you look at it as a system, there's so many variables coming in. The funder, this might change according to the markets, right? Maybe the government, maybe the private, maybe NGOs. In America, most of the hospitals are not for profit. So they run like a private organization, but they don't take out the profits. They put back the profits. And this is also supported or regulated by international agencies. The market rates, so many variables around it. Consumer is always a public, right? It consumes. The way that consumes can change. That can be local, international, or international. And they have needs and they have wants. You have chest pain, you need treatment. I have chest pain, I want easy. That's the needs and wants. So in a consumer, you have to support both if you can. For health, it's somewhat difficult. So So needs and wants. This creates this needs and wants creates the provider called a demand for service. So the provider can be public, the government, private, could be NGOs. This should come here, sorry. Funder could be NGO. It should be not for profit. So different stakeholders are there. In any system, if you look at typical, just to keep in your mind. Now the political thing. So there are different regulations, political environment, all dollar rate, economics, all political decisions would cascade down to your business. So very important to look at the political environment. Then the economical environment, current status of the country. Social environment, social behaviors, acceptance of private sector, acceptance of private healthcare or government sector, all that matters. Then technology, technological evolution, how fast the technology move in, how much of people value technology now. Now Sri Lanka, if you look at the health sector, people love to get tests done, no? Rather than seeing by a doctor now. Nowadays now, so a couple of months ago, about a year ago, so I developed a small tremor. Still I have a tremor. It's not because of on and off alcohol, but I just wanted to know why. And then I went to this so-called best in Sri Lanka, and very difficult to get a number. So and then this guy, he looked at me, he told me to raise my hands. Then raise it up. I said yes. Do you smoke? I said socially yes. Do you take alcohol? Yeah, probably every third day, small shot. Yeah. Okay. Start writing. See? Come on. I thought he would put me down and get the knee hammers and hammer everywhere, do the muscle thing, and then go for MRI or something, and nothing. Just sit something and then get after a month or something. That's a total mistake. Going to him. I call one of my friends and 3 days for sedative, no? Something just to sleep a bit, you know, and all that. So that was that controlled everything. But technologically, everyone was labs, no? And doctors would treat rather than they treat laboratory report rather than patient, no? So it's a good market for laboratories and investigations. So you have to spend a lot of money. Typically, those days when we do a hospital project, our equipment budget from the total hospital was about 30%. Hardly 30%. Now it's almost touching 55. If you are really looking at a business hospital, so there's no point of putting fancy buildings. It's all the equipment. You have to give toys to the boys. That's what they say. Doctors, if you don't give toys, the boys won't play. The boys won't play, you don't get the money. So that's the whole game. So we have to get equipment. Now it's almost touching 55. Specialized hospitals about 60. You put more equipment rather than, and then you put a lot of training. Sri Lankan private hospitals, the government also spend a lot of money in training nurses. But private sector hospitals, they don't care of training. They just hardly have any project budget for training, which is a very important component. So that's economic, social, technological. The health sector variables are there, right? So if you look at the health in the industry module, there's a topic, you will go through all this. So you have a comprehensive knowledge. We should have started from there. So you have to start. Just go home and start it from there. and go through, read this, then you get a comprehensive knowledge of basic industry, all that. Then opportunities, you capture opportunities, those are the major favorable conditions. Now at this particular scenario, what is the major favorable situation? Now, I was at a, and I had a drink. I don't think I take drink every day, but I associate with very few people, and then some professional from PIM had a nice chat and a nice drink, and then they were saying, it's chaotic, no, this is the top 10 gurus in Sri Lanka. She taught us all. Chaotic, you know, all the and all that. And then asked me, Kichri, how are you doing? I said, fine, I'm doing very, very well. How can you do well? I said, chaotic environment. People are chaotic. If you are smart enough to do things, I mean, you have the massive amount of opportunities. This was said by my CEO, Mr. Hussein Yusufai. He was a famous CEO. During the war, height of war, he started investing, he started building things. Everyone is, skeptical. He didn't have the guts to ask from him. So evenings we used to have a chat, and I asked him, Suzanne, why this? Nobody's investing here. Why are you thinking of production and all that? He said, here, doc, nobody is doing it. That is, has enough opportunity. That's where you make the first mark, and by the time this chaotic thing is over, you are miles ahead. When you look over shoulder, you hardly see a competitor. So that's what it is. So what is the major favorable condition that we have? And the threats. What is the major unfavorable conditions that we have? So we have to gather what these are. So basically, if you are going to do, identify about 3 each, 3 for opportunities, 3 for threats in each area. Right? It becomes a very technical stuff. Read a bit and then give marks scale of 1 to 10. Then prioritize at least 2 from each area. 2 threats and 2 opportunities. Right? Then select the best 10, something like this. Right? Read. This is highly qualitative. This is not quantitative. You can't have quantitative for the best analysis done. There are softwares, but you can spend enormous amount of money, and then you have a classic feasibility in terms of numbers. You don't get it. You can get broader ones. If you get quantifiable ones, then everyone would be in that industry, because it's so easy to get into the industry. There is always a risk in your assessment. Your judgment. So write it down about 5 here, then select the best. Give a scale, like give a marks, right? Out of 10, give marks and then select few. Then finally, select out of this, select the best, 2 each from this. You write about 5 here, 5 there, 5 here, 5 there. Then you have 5 opportunities. Finally, you end up with 5 opportunities for this, 5 threats. Okay? Are you okay with this? Right? Yes? Alright. Then go to internal environment. And it's also called as organizational capability analysis. Are you capable to deliver this? Are you capable to achieve your vision, your objectives, etc.? Right? First, the skill. Then we will look at the resources and the capabilities. The leadership, the management. What is the aspiration of management? Will they take risks? Will they do that? And latter part of my AMAS time, initially I worked with this group CEO. Then I got a chairman. I was a CEO, and then I got chairman. His cousin brother, nice fellow, beautiful fellow, Murtaza, wonderful guy. And he's like the rabbit. He's going to wait till the skies fall onto his head. He's always nervous. So I take 2 steps up and he pull me 2 steps back, 5, 5, 6. So tomorrow morning is another day, again starting from there. So, but that is the reality. That's good. So we won't take risks. So, but we took, we pushed it. So leadership, look at the leadership, now the management aspiration, and look at the personal human resource what you have and what you are going to have. So sometimes you might not have now, but you are going to have. Your analysis, service delivery capacity and structure, information systems. Out of all the resources, these are the most valuable resources today. Why? Why? Everybody now we have resources, finance, human resource, asset activity, assets. There are so many resources that you have, maybe money, material, and all. But the best is this now. Why? Look at the top 10 companies in the world. What are top 10 companies? All are software companies. What do they do? Managing information. Mainly. So these are top brands, all manage information. Transfer information or gathering or delivering or so information. You have to have a superb system. So there's more. What we are going to identify is the strengths. Strengths in the organization is a distinctive competence that you have in more than the others. And weakness, distinctive limitation or deficiency that you have against the others. You always look at the others, look at the quality system that you are going to have, and finance capability of the organization. And then the cost of delivery. Okay, you must have money, but when you try to deliver, it might be a very expensive affair. One of the problems in Sri Lankan sector is that organizations they have a heavy head. Now we typically have a hierarchical structure. This is the organization structure they have. This is typical hierarchy, and you will learn. Right? So the hierarchy, the head is big. Big in a sense, very heavy. So costly. When I started the Hemas Hospital project, I organized our structure and all that, P&L, nicely, for the company. It's as a separate SBU, separate company. So we started the company, suddenly, it became very heavy. Why? This HR manager, suddenly, will have to report to the HR director of the main company. Financial manager, suddenly, have to direct to the. There was a dotted line, but it was not in the organization. So, and then so many directors in the board. So each guy has to be paid by this company, small teeny weeny company. It becomes very heavy. I got to know only this because I know their report and just to send a report. I never thought they are going to be, no, they have a board and they are paid separately. They started taking money from this teeny weeny, just neonate. Just started, crawling. Because first year I managed, I had very good bottom line. I was so happy. And then to see, and then we made a loss, of course. First 2 years we made a loss. And then suddenly its loss is huge. I said, how did it happen? No, they have to pay this one, that one, that one. So make sure your cost of delivery is low. Then you become a competitor. Now, classic example is like when a hospital is older but has provided older hospital and they have running machines. Now, let's say a typical X-ray machine would run for 10 years, let's say, but still you are using the government sector, they use for about 20 years sometimes. So after 10 years, it's a profit for you. That whole thing doesn't come into books. They remove the capital cost. So their cost of delivery is less. So now look, with the whole load, they had a lowest cost structure in terms of the hospital. Of course, if you look at the PN list, it's different ballgame. But because they had older buildings, older equipments, but still working. Right? And but it has gone out of the depreciation rate, because in typical, this pen would last for 2 days. So the 10 days. So we buy it for 100 rupees, and we allocate 10 rupees for each month. Right? So once that time is over, this is taken out of our balance sheet, P&L. So this won't be a weight for the expenditure anymore. So how are you going to deliver a cost structure? Low cost structure. That is very important. Whatever you do has to be low cost. Then the development. What is the capacity for development? If you put up this humongous building with a concrete structure, how are you going to move? You would see in current hospitals, wherever you go, every day they cut and break and talk coming in everywhere. Why? The structures have never looked at development. They never looked at 10 years, 20 years. Now, not a single hospital in the world has brick and mortar. They never use all metal or partitions, and of course there are a lot of infection control things that you can move and all that. Now, current theatre, hybrid theatre is totally different. You don't take a single trolley inside the theatre. The theatre table comes near the transfer area. Then it moves to the other. No more the gadgets coming inside, because everything is inside. Your city, everything is inside so hybrid theatres. Things are changing. Are you here to do that in future? Will you have the capacity? So that's important to look at. Are you going to develop, or are you going to die like this in 20 years? Or you could, after 10 years, you sell it to somebody and run off. But the Americans do. That's typical Americans do. They build a classic brand, do it 10 years max, they sell it. They don't want to have ownership. That's how they make the money. They sell it. They build a superb brand and sell it. So find the strengths and weaknesses. So similar thing, identify at least 3 in each area, give a scale, give some marks, and identify so something like this: leadership, personal, service delivery, MIS, quality, finance, cost. You look at yourself. You might not have a company now, but the future company you are going to do. Right? That's futuristic. Sometimes if you have a company, if you are doing a organization capability analysis, you can do it. And for the next jump. Right? So identify like that, maybe about 5, right? And then take about 2 in each area. So now you have external environment analysis plus internal environment analysis, or the organization capability analysis together is called a SWOT. You must have heard this before. SWOT analysis. Any supervisor in a place would know what is SWOT is now. It's a big thing. Right? So strengths are what are we good at. Weaknesses, where do we need improvement? Opportunities, where and what's a big next big thing, right? Threats, what can kill us, in simple words. So these are the things we are looking at: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Up to now, is it too much or too little, or enough? Are you with me? We'll go through this slowly. I just want to give you a very basic understanding. There may be different ways of doing things, but this is a very simple approach which can. Then comes, once you do that, okay, now you have sent it through your SWOT analysis, so you are fairly okay now. Now this idea, the concept, becomes clearer and clearer and clearer now for you. It's becoming very clear now, somewhat clear now. Far away you saw that hospital, now it's making a reality kind of. So you have spent some money now for the SWOT analysis. Then this hospital, okay, you looked at external environment, go and put it out and see. Now this particular car, or the person who made train, go and put it in the deep end and see what's going to happen. So that is competitive analysis. So look at other competitors. Now this, once you start working, I told you suddenly, I told you a Microsoft thing, or suddenly it can happen. Classic example was when I was at Hemas, I went there to build 5 hospitals. Concept of 5. Three in Colombo, one that side, one here, one toward the east. We want to block all the people coming to Colombo. That was the whole idea. That was real concept. It was good because we looked at regionally everyone goes and planted a hospital in a very slummy, useless area. Why? The money, the rich people anyhow go out and to a top hospitals. The middle income groups are the ones who are going to come to these hospitals. So middle income groups, where are they living? They are living in suburban areas, developing areas. And then we were thinking of putting up a hospital where they live rather than where they work. So that was the whole concept. So, and it was a huge challenge. And then also then they said, how are we going to attract the big stars, big doctors? On the other hand, we are going in a different concept. We don't want stars. We can't manage stars. Because they won't align with certain protocols. So that was the concept. 1, 2, 3, one in Galle, one in Canada. So Galle 1, of course, we started, I was there. Feasibility started with Talawatugoda 1 and then that. So what we thought was in every year to put up a hospital. So with Battala, before we started Galle, then Battala, then to Battala like that. But I told you my boss was a bit hesitant. So every morning, that's why I should have disclaimer, don't talk about this. Every morning, he's a nice guy. He would come to my doorstep and would stay like this. I know he's coming. So if I start having chat, that means from I go to work at 7 till 1 o'clock until he go for lunch, I have to talk to him. Then suddenly I realized my work and my people are waiting and all that. Then I have to do the whole. I had to do 2 projects at once. So I started ignoring him. Sorry, seriously, I ignore him. And when he comes and he says, look at me like the wife, she hasn't come to bed for years. Come kind of that look. And I just start doing my wait there for about 10-15 minutes, just stayed there. All the other office members are really on nerves. Just so what I did was I turned my not facing up. The table was like this. So towards the window I turned myself. I can't actually see him anyway. So I did that. Then he sent me an email. 100 of questions, which I answer after 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. anyway. I work till 8 o'clock every day, 7 to 8. So this guy didn't allow us to go to the other hospital. But I did the feasibility for Bathukudeva. And by the time, then after I left, they started Bathukudeva about 3 years ago, 3-4 years ago. By that time, that feasibility did not matter because we never thought Nevirpanan hospital. We only looked at that feasibility time, that's why the environment has to be looked into. Only Jayawardhanapura. And that was the area where most of the doctors live. Doctors live and people live. You see the traffic coming from there. It will be too late. Too late. I know it's doing okay, but it's not the one that we want to. Then we actually found the land initially in Moratuwa, and that was our plan. And each hospital to have 10 GPs. either practicing GPs or we put up GP centers and allow kids to come and practice. That was how, to take the market from the bottom up. That is the whole master plan. But then things change. But so you have to put up your importance of competitive analysis back. Suddenly you realize, my God, this fellow has already, he is already done and he's coming now, big fellow coming here. Now look, where you are trying to put up your own hospital. No brand, nothing. So Michael Porter is a professor, I think he's at Harvard. He started this model called 5 forces which shape the industry competition. There's enough material there, you can listen to him. He did a very simple system to validate this competition. Then you have your hospital, go into that market and see what is the rivalry among the competitors. What is the fight? Are they battling? Are they saying mafia gangs and shooting you at the dark during? Oh, they are openly fighting. See the competition. How fight? What's the fight going on? Highly competitive. Just for example, education. It's not that we have looked at management bachelors and we have a bachelor's. We never looked at our next year. We are trying to look at Maldivian market because there's so much of competition. Generic MBA, so many MBAs. So you are going to this, they are killing each other. How they kill? Cut down the cost or cut down the program quality. Bring down, get a cheaper fellow to come and lecture you. Bring down the quality and the cost. So we don't have to do that anyway. So this is what it is. So rivalry not competitive. Check. Get your competitors. There's a validation model, very simple one, I'll show you. Then the threat of new entrants. Who will come into the market? Now, the big boy is waiting to come in all forms. If you sign that agreement or whatever, the idea is waiting to come in and bombard the market. But nothing survived in Sri Lanka because they always think Sri Lankans are Indians, Indians are Sri Lankans. Sorry. Sri Lankans are like Indians. So they failed dramatically except for the oil thing. All the businesses that they came up with, they all lost. So very important to see live for the new entrants. Who's going to come next? Then look at bargaining power of buyers. Buyer is your consumer. Bargaining power. Now, healthcare, now if they can pull up few strings, they can go to the government. That's the main competitor. But the problem is there's a queue. There's a queue. If you don't have a queue, he would just walk in. What the hell? How much is it? No. Move it. Now, what's a bargaining power? Now, small grocery shops are managed because the Cargills came up. Then the people started getting vehicles, mobiles, three-wheelers, tuk-tuks. Then Cargill's car park is not enough. Africa started with a big car park, with expensive. He's looked at it. Hey, let's take it. Then I am putting up everything. Now Cargill's expand their car park. The rest the goods are the same. No? So you see so bargaining power, because he would like to go and park their vehicle, tuk-tuk or whatever, and rather than fighting and getting fined by the police. Bargaining power of the suppliers. Now, this industry is a very, very, very tricky industry. It's a massive drug mafia, whether you like it or not. Stakeholders, you know who are the stakeholders. You know who are the ones who are corrupt in this place, right? The doctors. No, nobody else. Doctors are the ones who are doing it. If they have aligned with the proper set of value, no hand to pen given. During our time when we do GP practices, we had almost all of us in peripheries had a fridge in our GP center. That's not for us, but to give some as a coke or something for these reps. So we gave them because they were waiting for long hours with the bag. Bosses they're trying to put up, giving something back to us. Things have changed, you know. So therefore, it's suppliers. So they, what can you do with the suppliers? So what kind of bargaining power? So some big companies like Glaxo and all that, their margins are about 12%. Never allowed to go above. So their brands are very strong. AstraZeneca, top brands, because they have a patented drugs or something. So there's a lot of power in there. And equipment, if you try to buy equipment, either GE or very few players. But allow them to kill each other. That's what I did then. Allow them to and squeeze them. And finally they come to you with a bag. Where are you going? No. I have come so many times to this office. Now I spend so much of money, that's what I am coming. I don't have a profit now. You can squeeze them to their necks and give the company the money, you know. That's what you have to do. You can. They have at least 30% kickback somewhere down the line. You can definitely get equipment. Then it is threat of substitute of products and services. Now, this is another player. You go to another player. This is substitute. Can they substitute with something? Like instead of coming to our service to the hospital to see the neurologist, can they have Panadol and Kottamalli and sleep? Something like that. So what are substitutes instead of this? Instead of coming to the dermatologist, can they go to the, these guys who are removing, warts and beautician? Go to the beautician and get it done, and in a better way, that kind of thing. So these are the things. So you put this thing into a, look at the force of competitors and the weapons that they use, right? Force and the weapons. Threat, entry barriers, new threat of entry. It's not easy to come into healthcare industry. There are so many regulations. You can't put up a hospital here. There are 24 approvals to be taken. Even if you get all the approvals, 24th one, the Pradesi Sabha fellow and the municipal council fellow will catch you. That can happen. When I started Hemas, so now I had this, Bhaktadavan. It was a junkyard, military junkyard, and then the guys were lying now. You see this, how these politicians are on stage, they fight, but actually in personal lives and their kickbacks, they share each other. There were about 20 odd guys in that childhood. So one day they came up to my office and fought. 3 guys, chubby guys, big bundles and chains and all that. And I was just thinking, hey. Then they sit from Bhaktala, and then as soon as they came, I knew they came for the kill. So I started showing them pictures, come, and took them a boardroom. They had never been to the boardroom. Hemas boardroom, classic one. They got really intimidated by that. I purposefully did it, gave them tea and all that, and then I started doing a presentation in Singlish, but classic, my general presentation. At the end of the presentation, they were very tired. They didn't know what was happening. Then I said, now, good timing. There are 400 jobs in this hospital. Now I will give you how many people are there. There are 20 odd. So each one I'll give a quota. So send them. So I was also recruiting nurses for training. Very difficult to get nurses to train. So and all that I came. And they went back. Oh, okay sir, and all that. I gave all the leaflets and this and they sent them. Now, they never give up now. We had sent a guy yesterday, kept their mouth shut. Because we, as a person, I don't give bribes, and as a good company, he must never give kickbacks. Then this plan went to, conceptual plan went to the chairman of this thing. I actually met the chairman. He's a nice guy. He was a nice guy. And when I went home, just to have a chat, I knew a friend of his friend, and then I had a lot of, he has a lot of grandchildren, about 6 playing. So every day, these kids are, put into their grandmother's place, father's place, and the people go off. So this area. Then that was near Christmas. So I got a hamper. The company didn't pay, I paid 15,000 worth of chocolates. Went and just Christmas hamper and had a chat and came. Got it signed next week. So then the whole gang was being bang and threatening. He got this and that, and then the guy came, the technical officer came and told me, so to move this, we need 150 million rupees. 150 million, I asked him, you know how much is it? Yes. So I said, write. He couldn't write. He said 150,000. I said, no. And this, he said in 40 something. But is this 150 million? How did you get to know? No, from BOI. So they call BOI, get to know the total amount of the building, and they 10% on that. It's 150 million. It's 1,500 million now project cost. Couldn't do it. Now it's a deadlock. Then again can't move. Now this, there are two guys, UDA and this technical man. Then having a chat, and then to see this guy is technical officer. The technical officer in office now. His son is in DK now, studying in Australia, management. Right? And then I know his problems now. His problems are really must have sent him out somewhere. Now and he has he's very subcontractor. And the other guy, UDA guy, is really a fox, typical fox, looking fox. Waiting till this thing comes, tongue out and saliva going out, and that kind of waiting to grab somebody. So I went and met him. He said, can't do, we don't have car parks enough. Actually, we did not have car parks. We did a plan, and then we did the final soil testing. Soil testing, we couldn't. It was a metal junkyard, and then humongous of water. To waterproof it, we had to spend about 200 million to put the car park down. So about 200 million, 100 to 200 million. Then that's not going to work now. So we, put car parks here and there, and then we, according to the law, we should have 240 something car parks, which we had only about 100. That's a problem. Then this guy picked it up, said, you can't, now we can't. I said, no, he's a town planner. Now this guy is a town planner. They've been trained. He has a master's in town planning, can you beat it? And this fox. So he said, you're a town planner. Can't you do something about this? See, I on and off do things, that's you all are different company now. No, I said, we hire consultants. You can be a consultant. He said, yes. I said, how much will you pay? I said, how much do you want? I said, about 15,000 rupees. No, I'll pay you 20,000 rupees. And paid in check. Consultancy. This guy got from Vattala, from Palagoda, bridge. From there onwards, only that law applies. From there to the, Negombo, it's a different law. That is 100 car parks is enough. He found that trick, which we did. None of the architect's name or that. So I paid him in check. 20,000 bucks, which is I saved about 100 million bucks. Right? So you can do a lot of things. It's very important to see these guys. Then another day, then with the technical fellows, flying around this, all 20 people are waiting to capture. I said, now hey, look, now I'm going to do this now, whether you like it or not. Then plan has to be passed. Then I'll tell you, I'll give you a contract. I said, yeah, you are doing subcontracts. I'll give you a contract, legitimate contract. We won't give price, you know that. Then he said, I told him to, you have to demarcate the whole land. It's a troublesome land. A lot of plots and this and that and all that. So, give a quote, go and give a quote. He gave me a quote of 1.4 million. Our highest quote, our lowest quote of 2 point something like 2 million. So I gave him this thing. He has the lowest quote. And he fought with all the guys around because government nicely did by fence and everything and clean sweep in 2 weeks. So you can do a lot of things with these guys. And you need not to pay, right? All paid in checks. So no, not a bribe. So why doctors can do private practice? Why can't they do? So you look at all those. So entry barriers, you have to get around it. Threat of substitutes, force and probability, power of suppliers, see all this. Then grade is whether it's weak, moderate and strong, something like this. Weak, moderate and strong. Then you can gauge. This is more than enough. There are different models, software models you can put and then boom it comes, gives scales and all that. But if you know the concept, you can use any other model. Yeah. Then finally, development of strategies. Now you have, you have put the guy into the deep end. He can swim a bit. Okay, it's workable. It's a workable model. Now, how are you going to? What are the tactics? Strategies are tactics. But Alexander, these are tactics. The plan is there, and then there are tactics. It's a tactical plan. How you move around, all this. Now you know the market, you know the guys who did and all that. What are these excellent strategies in terms of getting around these guys, without aligning with the policies, ethical, environment, everything. And then it's very simple from here onwards. We have already done one. There's thing called a TOW or TOW metrics. You write down now you have strengths that you identify, and then list the weaknesses, right? List the opportunities, and list the threats. We have done it already. And then what you do is use these strengths to take an advantage of opportunities. Now the strategy, it is a statement. You start with a statement. Strategy, I told you, it's a broader context. Strategy is a statement. So you make statements after this. You take, to overcome the weaknesses, use the advantage of opportunities, use strengths to avoid or minimize threats, minimize weakness and avoid threats. This is the, there are a lot of videos for you to read. This is the Tufts matrix or the TOWS matrix. You list your this is like list all the opportunities here, list all the threats here, right? List all the strengths here, list all the weaknesses here. Now you have a list of things there. Pick, it's like a tuk-tuk, pick from here to take an opportunity, use your strength. Now you are Mr. Ravi Karunayake or somebody. So about a year ago, I'm talking about, then you can definitely take any opportunity to rub wherever it is, on the get loans or facilitated loans or whatever, something like that. You know somebody, but your leadership, your strength is leadership is very noted, known to. Now, when I started the hospital, because I was in the industry, and all the clinicians were Machan fellows, all our colleagues. It's a matter of hey, come here. Then Vattala, who will come to Vattala? We are going to Colombo, and all the hi-fi people are in Colombo. I said, what hi-fi people mean? All are coming from other areas, no? Hi-fi people go to Singapore, no? They won't come to you, no? So why don't you on your way home? That was my whole concept. On your way home, just drop by. That's how we started. And we took the middle, not the stars, middle people, then they are thriving now. So likewise. So so weaknesses. Yeah? So you like, those are called SO strategies, strength and opportunities. Then WO strategies, to overcome the weaknesses, right? Look at the opportunities. Right? You have overcome the weaknesses. Maybe the dollar rate is low. The banks are giving concessionary loans. The BOI is giving now it's nothing. BOI is nothing now. But those days they gave 10-15 year tax-free, duty-free stuff. So you are weak in your finance, right? That's your weakness. But use that. Those are called WO strategies. Threats, right? ST is you have threats. How are you going to use your strength to reduce the threats? Now, one of the things that CITEM has is a problem with GMOA. Purely GMOA versus the CITEM problem. So not with the students, no. Right? No, this the bottom line is that no, forget about everything. It is a management of CITEM. It is arrogant and I don't want I'm not very open about this. And versus at the GMO is obviously arrogant and adamant. No, the very strongest this thing in Southeast Asia, no, demigods and so I would prefer, I would look after them, not in a bad way. I mean, talk to them. Probably I will build chain of housing scheme for these medical officers in Colombo near the schools and offer them. This is what I do. I have money, so why not I build some. Give complexes. When the list will select by the GMO, X committee, X go or something. So, dialect, arrogancy will reduce. These are just ideas only. Bosses, that time I'm going to tell you, we will have to put it to the C. Bosses, and that makes a huge difference, attitude and all that. So, and then those are the things, how are you going to use your threats and weaknesses, and then, so this is actually writing some statements. Now these statements are going to be your key business concepts. Each strategy has to be put into an activity plan. How are you going to achieve it? Say, I'm going to offer GMOA, ISCO, something, not GMO, medical doctors. Near schools, I am going to build 100 small houses, very comfortable houses, good ones, near schools. So I will give it for a very, very nominal rent, at cost maybe. So how am I going to do that? Come up with idea. Then started planning, just do a small plan. Nice conceptual design, look at the lands, and said, it's on offer, is there anybody to take this? That's the communication. All that's activities. Then final date. If the doctors don't want, we will do it for the nurses, Then doctors will say, no, we want it. They will go on the Lipton Circle, say, I want CITEM, housing scheme is ours, So you create a different height. These are strategies, these are tactical, how you get around it, how you think differently. You become very innovative, you become very critical, crucial, address the main core issues. So this is how you do the final product. Then once you do Tauss matrix, right? This comes from the SWOT, no? Then look at the competitive analysis and brush it up, your concept nicely. So if you look at the strategies, there are two main strategies in terms of theory. I'm going back to the theory now. Two main theory, the core strategies, those are unique strategies for your hospital, your concept. That is only for you. Other ones are generic strategies. Unique strategies are integration. You integrate with the existing player, big brand. So when we started HEMA, we worked with a group called Columbia Asia. They have 42 hospitals now in Asia. So they wanted to come back, and it's a collaborative effort. We want to get their tagline, brand value. But unfortunately, these guys they are 100 feet away, and these guys are still coming, and they did not. But I learned a lot from them. I worked with Americans for about 4 years and learned a lot from these guys. Merge with the existing player. Diversification. It could be go into new markets, diversify new products, new markets, intensify, do better what you do, more focus, hammer them. Then restructure your what you are doing. Right? The generic strategies are general cost leadership, offer a low cost Anybody can do this. But the others, not many people can do it. Not many people can do it. So we are working on a hospital project for the last 2 years, and then merging. So we are looking at bringing down the largest, the best brand in the world, Mayo. Right? This is not for Sri Lanka, but it's a region, like a totally health tourism project. So something like that. So to go with I'm supporting a group that goes with that. Cost leadership, differentiation, same product to different markets, like Maliban going to Bangladesh, Manchi going to Bangladesh, right? Focused, only focusing on one segment. Value chain, same product, add more value. What Dilma does. What Dilma does, they don't own a tea estate, they get it from the Colombo tea market, and add that value, no? Brand, boxes, it's invaluable. It's not a big facility, beautiful facility, but factories and color and fragrance and add value. Right? So that the nurse with a smile, with the injection, James Bond movie, that, Adele, no? Adele, no? This singer,
Yeah.
Adele's music,
Skyfall.
Skyfall, and then what's the other guy? Yes, Sam's with music going on background. Nurse with a injection, very nice black suit with injection. So that's right. Same product and value. Nurse with a smile. So then implementation. So go through. Very important. Once you have the strategy, you have to write down now this. The statements that you made have to be described thoroughly. That's your project description. Each one that you mention, describe thoroughly. By put activities, how you are going to achieve it, insight that you might have, those are the how you are going to achieve all that, describe that. Then finally, come for the implementation. Communicate. Communicate to your staff. Communicate to everyone. Communicate. And operationalize the strategies. Communication is important. External communication is important. You stop anybody coming into that area. Hey, I'm going to have something here. It's going to be this big. It's going to be that and all that. Cut down small players coming into that area. So that's very important. Internal communication, your staff and the others, align them. It won't be a surprise for them. Certainly it comes. Then operationalize strategies. Each one, the strategies are broader statements you put into annual operational plan. Operational plan. So strategic plan becomes an operational plan. Then I told you to implement, you have to organize different to organize each event. Let's say human resource. You're going to have your strategies to get the best smiling nurse and smiling doctors in this hospital, and each one will be given an ice cream, non-diabetic ice cream. Everyone who walks in, something like that. And go through and free exercise session or whatever, or Zumba session. Nobody has Zumba in the hospital, so Zumba sessions. So the picture of hospital with a Zumba session going on when you walk through the lobby. So you have to have policies for that. How to smile, how to speak, communication. You develop those policies. Organizational policies, that's the main umbrella. What is this organization? Different policies for organization. Then each unit has a small umbrella policies. Each policy was controlled by activities. Those are called protocols. We'll be having a chat with this once again. Then organization design. You design, keep proper people, write paper. They say, write paper, the right places, do right things. Write paper, with the proper qualification, etc., etc. In proper places, right places, do right things. Then quality management, very important. Then put the other resources. Each one for each strategy, right? HR, material, facility, equipment, and of course information. So once you do that, you evaluate. There are two types of evaluation. You have external and internal evaluations. External audits. Externally, we do a consumer survey. What we are doing, ask continuously. We will ask. We have continuous and consumer survey. What do they feel? That's our main consumer. And also do the internal consumer. So internal staff, yeah, they are internal. What they feel, what they do, and then do market studies. What is happening whilst you are doing this outside? What is the other hospitals are doing? What is regionally happening? What is Apollo doing? What is others are doing? This market studies. The internal audit. Audit, of course, as a medical audit. That's quality audit that they do about the clinical and the other areas. Then the accounting audits. So we all know this, but this is one that you can be an internal auditor for quality. Then finally, strategic change. How will you organize a conducive culture for your activities to work on, your strategy to work on, and organizational behavior and a comparison to. Yeah. Okay. 6 months of strategic management. Okay. So you can read. There are a lot of. Now you have an idea. Otherwise, it becomes. That's why the first few modules you can read. It's not rocket science. It's just very basic. But this is a very. You have to have a very clear idea what you are doing. There are different approaches for this. I've looked at. I had the opportunity to work with many people in a big conglomerate. It's a wonderful conglomerate, HEMAS I worked with. Then I worked with Americans, Columbia Asia, worked the whole this thing for about 4 years. Indian School of Business, I was there for about 2 to 3 months with the group, different times. Learn, work with the top 10 management gurus in the world. Looked at Aussie, education sector, of course, worked with them a lot and looking at their strategic plans, regionally Maldives, and then it's very complicated. You have to have a very straightforward way of doing things. And this is a very simple approach to go through and make a business plan. I still do. And a lot of people are doing it at different ways. This is enough for you to understand how to do it. So question time. Is it totally Greek or somewhere around Hindi or English or English? What do you feel? Honestly, is it Greek? No. Hindi or English or English? Somewhere there, it's English or Hindi. To Hindi movies, you know what's happening. You don't know what they're talking. You can't understand. You know what's happening. He's going to kill this guy. He scolded this guy. All that, but you don't know what he said. All that. That's. Yeah. Try to study. There are good study materials. And don't try to read and understand and try to take notes on it. Just skim through. Skimming it, just going through. Listen to videos, lot of videos, and then read. I would ask you to listen to videos and then read. That's the easiest way to get this. It's very easy to get the knowledge. And then put up a mind map for a model. There you can. And now there will be exam. This is total MBA, no? So there will be questions. All the questions will be asked from what you learn. But there are critical questions asked to validate your critical thinking ability. There will be a lot of questions with statements, and they be precise. So you should read a bit to answer those I didn't think they asked. Most of the guys who are doing here are all practicing guys, so they would always ask practical questions and modern questions, fun questions. Okay. Any questions? I mean,
How do we get access to this lesson?
yes. Today, now ideally by this time you should have your access. Now this guy will give you an access, common access for your individual access will be given now for you. For this, of course, AVLMS. Now you have to get the access of the ESL university also. That it's a process. It takes about 3 to 4 weeks. So they have to register themselves. And all. I'm meeting them tomorrow, 9 to 9 in Malaysia. So then not day after. So discuss like this. So yeah. So today he will give you. You are given the Moodle orientation.
In the timetable, it's booked to next week.
Next week. Okay, fine. So I can share with you do you have pen drive? The whole load, I don't know how, with the videos, for presentation of you can take. The other lot may be a bit heavier. Can you have
Capacity 1 GB.
check on it. It may move because this Alexander thing will go on. It's very heavy.
It's almost 5 GB.
5 GB.
The entire folder.
Presentation.
Presentation.
Yeah, only the presentation itself.
The video.
No, they did this.
The video.
Can you translate to one of our
Sorry?
Can you translate to one of our
If one
We can-
person,
Yeah,
we'll just
Fine.
take it into one.
You once you get the access, of course, they can. There's an orientation in the LMS, nicely given how to access and all that. So it's a very simple one. You know about LMS too? You can. If that problem is solved, because
I
he will
sent
be
him a
telling you how to access.
Sorry?
There will be a password given to all of you.
Can I delete?
It's a common one.
Yes, at the moment a common
All
one.
is
Common one. You can
you can
access
delete.
all the
This
videos.
one?
all these
This one?
videos?
Yeah,
That
but
will be
take
enough.
it.
Okay.
All
Zara.
common language, common knowledge.
Lalala?
Sim.
Same.
Zara. Zara. La la la.
Can delete this.
You can do
Let's
that.
try.
Sure.
Dangal.
Let's try.
Yeah.
In this piece I do.
Yeah. Yeah. He will tell you how to go to LMS. And today you are getting a common password, but it will be individual ones
Yeah.
next week. You are having lectures next week.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Is there a difference between the concept and the objectives, or does the objectives eventually come from the concept?
Concept is the one idea. Now, so we have ideas. The paper just these ideas come from emotions. These ideas come from emotions. It's kick you. You feel something. Or somebody told, hey man, this is a lot of money in this. That creates emotion. So emotion becomes an idea. I want to look at this. Then you build up that idea after reading a little bit. Before going into this process, you write your concept. Demarcate your window which you are going to look outside. then only objectives come in. You have visions, you have a direction that from here, okay, you see many birds flying, which bird to catch. So with that bird, where are you going to fly now? So that's how it goes. So initially, the concept. Window is very important. Suddenly, these guys would turn, like politicians, onto the other side and see another different window. It happens in projects. It happens in hospitals. It's very painful. I'll tell you an example now. We are putting up a neonatal unit in Joseph Maternity Hospital. Now this has been 4 years I've been trying. I got the money from French government, necessarily funding. It's a special baby unit. There are about 60 incubators and then NICUs and as well as premature baby units and then mother and baby units. Total comprehensive units of CT, ultrasound, etc. And there's a training separately, center of excellence, everything. And then two theatres and procedure room where you get high risk mothers and a fetal surgery. That's the future now. So all that we do a little bit, but there are pediatricians, Sri Lankans, trained in doing fetal pediatric surgery, heart surgery. So you have to get ready for that. Suddenly, otherwise these guys will come and do something else, So everything was fine, and then it was dragging, how these things were. So this government actually helped us and then gave us because we were supposed to. They were building up a very old building for 8 years. So we went in, it is 8 years old. So we had to validate, it took about a year to validate this building. We got the guys from France and validate. They want to do it there. And we were trying to build this up, then luckily when this government came, they said, no, don't do that, put a new building. So we put up a new building. The same concept, but concept was the same. So the concept went to vision, mission, all that, and the objectives, and then everything. We designed, wrote the medical plan, and then now we signed the agreements. In that agreement, one of the top 10 professors, VOG, is trying to make me. Fortunately, he delivered my baby long years ago when I was a medical student. This guy was there in our faculty, so he came and said, hey, your kid's here. I got you lost your hair. Now here, come in. Now I want this. Now I want one floor. I want one floor of this. For why? Zoom, 100 beds. It's a baby unit. Is a baby unit? Yay! Some beds. I said, it's now, a cot was as a bedroom. It's a cot, is a cot. And bed is a bed. So what? Now the space and everything is confirmed. But you can put some beds, no? I said, no, you can't. I mean, imagine the simplest thing is one thing is you can't do anything about it. I don't want to disappoint you, but simple thing is this area is demarcated and the design is top end like no other in the region, like one-way traffic and all that. And then said, oh, you can remove some because not much babies, neonatal issues are not there no much now. All that. Not babies are not born, not. Then I said, then why maternity beds? He said, what did he say? I said, no, the babies are not born. Why do you need maternity beds then? He looked at me and for a while, more a green cost, so he's very good. So this is what it is all about. If you have to, that's a concept is important. This is a specialized baby unit. No jokes. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. It's a specialized baby unit. That's why the concept is important. Otherwise, people. And the Ragama now it's all partition during our times. So you go, the breeze coming in, you see the professors are coming far away with the propeller all up in the You take Rabindranath half and gate where the prof's coming from, we call a hearse, that one 504, 604 wagon, I can still remember the color, the green color. Green, no? Coming far away, oh God. Some are running into the washroom here and some propanol 20 milligrams. And it was all distorted because they are partitioned and light is not coming. The concept has to be there. It's a ward for 40 people for professional training. So professional training is you can't put partition because there are about 40 students and there's 3 registrars and 5 consultants. So that is a concept. So teaching hospital. It's not a training hospital, it's a teaching hospital. So those concepts have to be there. That's what we failed as Sri Lankan. Businesses a lot of failed because we changed the concept. Halfway down, 180 degree turn, go other way. When I do this thing, I'll trade 1,000 things I can talk to you regarding Kottalavala. I was involved in the previous initially to redesign the layout. I was involved a little bit. But it's a total failure, couldn't start project delay, 3 years delay, simply because they changed the concept. There's no proper direction. That's important. 46%. It's anyway. So any other question? Tell me, what do you all do? What do you do? What do you do? Yeah. What do you do day to day? What do you do?
Administrative work.
Administrative. And what do you do?
I work at SSCOG as a coordinator under Sri Lanka College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists.
Okay. And you, that's medical director. And you are practicing at Harira Dilip or you are practicing, no? And you?
I'm a demonstrator at science.
Alright.
I'm a lecturer.
You are straight. And you are also working.
I'm working at Concord and now I have got through the screening itself for biomedical control.
Right.
So starting in October.
Oh, right. We'll meet them. Yeah, in the forums most of the time. Professor Bajil. And you? Where are you good?
I'm in BB.
Oh, you made it. Wonderful. This is your first appointment? BB is a district office. How many doctors are there? You have all consultants are there. Oh. We get steak bites and all this thing. Snake bites. What is the commonest one? Commonest bite is what? Rasam.
We do get
Cobra also. Usually you try. But the bones are good, no? No in the morning. I think, how long will it take? 5 hours? 7 hours? Very morning?
traffic is not the issue, but
Roads are fine. Policeman. Stop. So these are all these words that I use against item or cross item, just for fun, just to give a message across. There's this different ways of looking at it, and unfortunately the students are receiving the promised sample. So we were with CMC, 3 years we were at home. But College of GPs did a certain amount of thing, but Unlike you all, you were given tongues to protect us. You were hammered. First batch, and then you got hammered in General Hospital. They went to neurology and then medical students came and tried. After that, we were given tongues to look after us. Now, we did not know there were odd people, characters around us. Not by the NCMC, but by JR. Anyway, but lot of that created. Unfortunately, that lesson we did not learn this time. This was a scenario, this happened. No? The same thing over and over. We have to have. This is the other one.
This is a video we didn't copy.
So anyway, but we need, regionally we are. Huh?
Definitely. Such a lot of money is going out of the country.
And that quality of training you can't validate, that's the problem. And I had a Russian graduate, Chinese graduate, some years ago, and working with me in projects, and excellent work, but chemicals and pulse. See, really serious? Why? We have to see patients. In China, Russia, but here, even money is to see. I'm not. I decide. I work in a massive project with a British university, and then how many months ago? 3 months ago, I was in Scotland, studied the whole medical school, whole one by one, over a week. And they are all placements are in GPs. In the 4th year, they put into clinics, hospitals. Others are with GPs. Why? There's a nice book called Future Doctors, no? Tomorrow's Doctors by the GMC, the General Medical Council. Everything, there are about 25 places it said we are making good doctors. The definition of a good doctor: take a good history, examine, investigate, and then diagnose few things. We've been in practice. We went through hell to see these anatomies and physiologies and all this. And ultimately, being a practitioner, we can GP. You don't use and we take 8% of that. No? Whole harangue of things are changing the world. Very different. Anyway. So what's going to happen? Do you have any idea?
Facebook said that the president had wanted a report, update rather. I don't know, that's what the headlines of the first sheet was saying regarding the site emission.
Yeah, it's a drag problem. This is the classic government because nobody takes a decision to drag the situation. Now Mahinda was there, he would take something, like the cut or dry, he would take a decision, he won't try. He has his charm and use charm for Padini and choose charm for Dr. Fernando, and then they'll get married together and he will make sure that marriage would go on. I think they'll fight each other, but things would go on. This is the classic government who has a very open, clear, everything as per the US government standards and that's the problem here. But everything is tall. What did you do during your years?
I was sharing with them what I did. The acupuncture to compute.
There was a lot of guys with there's videos. There's some
videos.
Acupuncture. You have MD in acupuncture, right?
Just the
They gave.
Yeah. I did pursue. But we were not affected that much because we had clinicals.
Area clinicals.
Yeah, we had Sri Javadanpura and then even Ragama was open.
Yeah. We were just completed second year. We completed third year
Third year,
waiting.
and then
So
you-
then so I went and did a garment manufacturing course. First year we drank because there was a Air Force base no? At NCMC. So in the evening, Asita, all of us used to come and there's a lot of fun there, Air Force base. So we drank and played heavy. So after a year, you get fed up with this. No? I went and did a garment. I have a diploma in garment manufacturing. It's actually I started working in a garment factory as a assistant manager. 30,000 bucks and a car. God, damn thing started after about 3 months. Yeah, it's. But I used that knowledge to design hospitals now. They have a superb process management, work study management, and processes. Okay, done. Thanks. You have my email address, I think. Anything, just drop an email. My typical response time maximum will be about 3 hours, typically, if I am in country. You can take them, please. Thanks.